Hey, Pagan, how you doing? Hey, Faye, what's up? We are doing the new dungeons, but we're doing a slow, reading all the stuff, doing all the storylines. So we're just doing normals in there. Alright, so I'm going to queue us up for it. We call this a lore run. I like it. Avron, should we enter from outside, like go to the location, or just port in? Nothing special. Yeah, okay. If there's nothing special, then we'll just port in. Got my high quality H2O. All right. Let's go Dungeon Finder. Let's do... You know what? I'm curious about the Black Drake Villa. Let's go there first. Specific dungeons. Normal. Alright, Black Drake Villa. After the fall of the Longhouse Emperors, its grand retreat stayed largely abandoned, aside from the occasional treasure hunter. Most of the spoils of Dodoro's campaign across Tamriel went missing, only to appear later. Achievement unlocked.
Well, this seems like the place. Look at the size of it. Hey, you! What are you doing here?
Heavily.
They warned me some competition might try to get in my way, and then you saunter up just as I find the place. A mite suspicious, if you ask me. Why did you come here? Who sent you?
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Heavily, hold on. I came on my own. Why is this place so important?
No one sent you? What, you just stumbled on this place? You must be an adventurer, like me.
Yeah.
Well, you found Black Drake Villa, the former home away from home of the Longhouse Emperors, and the place where they stashed something very important.
Oh. I like how she has different dialogue if your character didn't do the Arcidium DLC. Oh, is it different? Because, yeah, I didn't do Arcidium on this guy, so is this a different... Oh. So does she recognize you? Yeah, she recognizes you. It's not terribly different, but a little in the beginning. Oh, that's so awesome. Oh my gosh. She'd know you if she did Arceum. Oh my gosh. Why did they keep, what did they keep here?
The people who hired me provided a map to a library under the mansion. My job is to find some book that the old owners hid down there. Hey, care to join forces? Together we can grab this book in no time, and you can keep any loot you find.
I know, is that great, Nightshades? I love that. I'll join your search for this book.
An old-fashioned alliance, just like in the stories. All right, here's our plan. That sewer grate ahead should get us inside. If you could scout ahead, I need to prepare some arrows, just in case, you know?
What do you know of the Black Drake Villa?
Oh, they say the villa holds all sorts of treasures. When nasty old Durkarach marched to Cyrodiil, he snatched up prizes from every city in his path. Paintings, jewelry, other fancy whatsits. You know how tyrants enjoy their baubles.
And he placed it all here?
He sure did. After Durkaroch took power, he ordered this estate built. A lot of the loot he grabbed ended up in here. Can you imagine what treasures we'll find inside? And the library? As soon as I heard about it, I knew this job was for me.
How do you know all this?
Oh, I've read all the books on the Longhouse dynasty. Barbula's invaders from the Reach, Coravel's the Crowned Dragon, even Kostfolk's Longhouse Rising. Though I thought that one was a bit salacious for my taste.
Now, Avron, I have not heard of, or don't recall, any of this Longhouse dynasty stuff. Have we seen this before? In game? You said someone hired you?
Was the oddest thing. There I am, on my way to explore the ruins in Stormhold, when a courier rides up and hands me a letter. Now, I had many questions. How did she find me? Who knows I'm here? Is this a trap? But no, it was just a simple note.
Just a simple note. What was in it?
A request. One Forel Lupus from Riften wished to discuss an opportunity. Quite intriguing, I thought. So, off I went. It was quite the secret affair. I never actually met the man, but my contact warned I should tell no one. Which...
Do you often take jobs for people you've never met?
I should be honest. I don't really get hired that often. Usually I just wander about looking for an adventure. But not only did this sound exciting, also my biscuit bin was a bit low, if you know what I mean. I was happy for the gold.
My biscuit bin was a bit low. I like that. What do you know of the Black Drake Villa?
Oh, they say the villa holds all sorts of treasures. When nasty old Durkaroch marched to Cyrodiil,
Okay,
he
so we've
snatched
read
up
that
prizes
already.
from every city in his... What? Had your head stuck in a swamp for the past few years? Durkaroch was the Black Drake.
Oh.
A Reachman who stormed across Tamriel to take the throne and became emperor. Dead now, of course, which I guess is how we can just walk into his home.
How do you know all
Oh,
this?
I've read all the books on the
All right,
Longhouse.
who are you?
Everly Sharparrow.
There we go.
World famous adventurer. Or soon to be. Slightly new to this whole business, but that won't stop me from doing what needs to be done. I'm quick with a bow and more stubborn than most. Seems to me like that's all I need.
There we go. All right. Ready, everybody? I think T forgot to start reading. That's okay. That's why we do this. We can look around. Just massive, this dungeon. You can literally go all over and explore. This is crazy. We can go all the way through these fields. Exit is blocked. I combed all over this old winery like there must be a serious spud. No secrets. Just links. That is so awesome. Because we're at... Yeah, we're up here to the north. Did you find some links of OldMamaDragon? Aw. We were expanding our vocabulary. Do I have everything on that I need? I think so. Not gonna be too hard, but still, I want to make sure that we've got all the shtiffle. Jeremy, how you doing? You're just in time. We're about to start doing Black Drake Villa, but we're doing a dungeon, a lore run. We're in here with T the Khajiit, Avron, and OldMamaDragon and myself, and we're taking it really, really slow. We're listening to all the dialogue, all the music, everything going through. Because I've done, you see, I've done the dungeons, but I didn't listen to anything because I didn't want spoiler. So we're checking out everything. Nice. Was seeing you check out the vineyard. Oh, I know, love it. The little lists, the little links in there and stuff. All right, ready? Okay, let's do it. I love the vistas if you look back through. Yeah, oh, it's gorgeous. So we know we go that way, but there's little things around here. Nice little stuff. Smoke up that way. All right. One. There goes Evelyn.
Look at this place. A lot more run down than I imagined. Do you smell that? The stench of smoke. Something's on fire down below. Not a great sign.
Ooh, right over.
Farrell Lupus's agent, go-between really, warned that others might be on their way here as well. People who wish to destroy the place and take the book for themselves. I hope whatever is burning doesn't mean they beat me here.
Who would want to destroy this villa?
Good question. The contact stayed vague on that point, but I guess we're about to meet them. I hope you don't mind if this exploration mission turns into a fight.
I'm ready for anything.
I hoped you'd say that. You have the adventurous spirit, I can see it. Let's keep going. The entrance to the library should be just up ahead.
Who are those goblins I just fought?
Goblins? Oh, those angry ones skulking around in here. I think since no one's been here since Leovic died, they must have moved in. I mean, why not? I can't imagine they'll cause too much trouble for us.
Okay. All right. Statues and everything.
Look at that big boy. I'll help you from up here.
Avron, does the side bosses give us any lore stuff? Do we get that final extra on normal? Can we still get them? Well, let's do it. Does T know where to go for the last plate? Isn't it like up in here somewhere? Boom! There we go. So yeah, if you stand on those 4 different pressure plates, it opens up the side bosses. Winter Moss, how you doing? I am. Thank you very much. Yeah, and we're going through the main storyline. Let's make sure I have my 2. So we're going slow. We got people going through it slow with us. All right. Five. All right, I think we're good. Here we got a bunch left over from the fight. Like that sound. Whoosh.
So much smoke. We have to hurry. The map says this hatch is the easiest way into the library. Come on. Hey, look. What do you guess is in here? Arrows. Nice ones, too. Why would someone leave these around? All right, here we are. According to the map, this hatch opens to a walkway that leads to the Grand Archive. Once we're in, let's find the book and get out of here.
What's the Grand Archive?
That's the library I told you about. Stories claim it's a massive underground collection of books, scrolls, and artifacts that the Longhouse Emperors gathered over the years. Volumes of secrets and knowledge might lay right under our feet.
Who was that massive Minotaur?
Ah, sorry about that. Based on the armor, I'd wager that was Kinross Eye. He led the goblins that we saw earlier. I heard he was around this area, but didn't know he took over the villa. I guess some warning could have helped.
You found some arrows?
I did. Quite fancy ones, in fact. Lighter than a baby jay's tail feathers. The best part of these little excursions is finding all the stuff people leave behind. Sometimes it's a plate of old sweet rolls, but once in a while I find something handy.
Alright. Was there anything in the other sides? I don't think. King with a couple of birds. Nope. He's going up and exploring. A place there for her, maybe. It's true. Also, hi. Alright. Let's go in. Explore the Grand Archive. Look at the map to this place. This place is like crazy. Zinni! Oh, Zinni, thank you for gifting that sub to Misfit. Misfit, welcome back to the Jazzcast. Enjoy your mat emotes.
Zinni, I just subscribed.
Buddy. Yay! Ooh, we got bad guys.
No, what have they done? They burned the entire library. So many books. All those stories just gone. We should split up to find the book before this whole place turns to ash. Somebody thought the knowledge stored down here was important enough to destroy. What kind of book did I get sent for? You go ahead and find the people who did this. I need to look for this book.
Okay. Look at this place. Well, now we know why it's on fire. I didn't know I was on fire before. books. I don't see any glowy boys over here. I love all the noises and everything. Alright. That's cool.
You accept my might. Are you worthy of it?
Oh, so the guy who's talking to us, is that the guy that's at the end? Got 13. All right.
Someone else wants the book. We cannot allow this. Hold him off while I keep looking.
Oh, there's the guy who's doing all the books you're burning.
I'm here. What'd I miss? Their leader said he's after the book. We need to find it before he does. That cross fellow who set the fires, he called out that he's looking for a book. I bet all the berries in Blackmarsh that he wants the same thing we do. So let's get there first. You take the lower path, and I'll head up top. We might cut him off.
Your new arrows put out the fire?
Seems so. I assume a water enchantment of some kind. I've read about magic like that, but never really had too much interest in the stuff. Seems like cheating. Sure helped us out in a jam, though.
It might be useful in the future.
Oh, I used the last one, saving your hide. I'm not too troubled about it. You know how treasure can be. Lightly come, lightly go. Come on, let's find that book.
I love Ivali. She's awesome. Alright.
Hey, up here! Look at this journal I just found. The writing is all strange scribbles. I think I'll hold on to it. I saw that book burner just ahead. Keep going.
Aw, thanks for the hug. I don't want to set the world on fire.
Your death bravely.
That's so cool. Chest. Yep, yeah. T is in here. We've got OldMamaDragon and we've got Aberrant. Cute.
The circle is complete. Your final test awaits.
Circle is complete. Your final test awaits. That should be 17. Oniad, how you doing?
The book isn't here. Burn this. Burn it all. Our Lord demands it.
You go. We must finish the job. I can delay these worms.
You take care of Captain Important there. I'm after the Fire Mage.
The soft part of your skull makes the perfect target. Do not run like some big coward.
Whoa, there's a big fire lava guy. Still got a shield on.
Run, hide, stand, fight. It doesn't matter.
There we go. I'm cool. Wishing the same for everyone. Yeah, we're going through the main story. Does someone help to recognize a single person can grab all the circles of Fanglair, final boss, second HP? Whoosh, I don't know. I have 22. Yay! Cool. I like this. They got us kind of outside. Down below. I am! That got in my brain! So one there, one over here. You can thank the mud crabs. Ooh, heavy stuff. Beautiful songs that get repeated at cover artists like Johnny Cash. There you go.
These fools aren't so tough. Come on, their leader ran just over the hill. We can't let them destroy everything. Anything that we can save, we should. All this knowledge. I could read these books for years.
What do you think people are?
Your guess is as good as mine. One of them called themselves the True Sworn. But sworn to who? And why destroy the villa instead of ransacking it like normal people? Questions that need to wait. After that arsonist.
You mentioned picking up a book back there?
I couldn't help myself. All these incredible volumes turning to ash. I just wanted to save something. This journal was resting on a desk as I ran past, so I picked it up. Of course, the one item I decide to save is completely illegible.
How do you know it's a journal?
The casualness of the handwriting, all the little notes in the margins, several tea stains on the pages. When you spend as much time reading books as I do, you recognize these things. Even with the words all jumbled around, I can tell.
Ah.
His power belongs to the True Sworn.
The True Sworn.
You small creatures! The book belongs to the True Sworn!
If he thinks the book is here, then we have to stop him.
Brimstone serpents! Scour the earth! Creatures slain! Rend them limb from limb! I must not fail! Blast it from mystery!
So Encratis is a pyroturge. I love the music change.
It must be here. Keep him busy while I search.
My heart's fire forges this blade.
Come back the other way, T. Come back the other way.
Down. Fiery wind, sear their flesh into coals. My heart's fire forges this blade. Strike them down.
Pyroturge Encratis.
I found it. What a bizarre cover. I'm not sure this even has words. Just symbols. This is definitely the book I'm supposed to bring to Frau Lupus. It looks exactly the way it was described, but it doesn't have any words in it. Just these strange symbols. We have it now, and that's what matters. A job well done.
What's next?
Well, I should bring this eerie tome to Frau Lupus. But first, I'm curious about that other book I found. The words seem encrypted, but I'm not sure. Either way, thanks for helping me rescue it from the True Sworn. We make quite the team.
Yeah, we do.
The more I look through this book, the more uneasy I feel. Something about it. I don't know. I wish I could understand these symbols. I know I have a job to do, but a little voice in my head says I should leave it here.
Who do you think this True Sworn work for?
I wish I knew. Someone wanted this whole place in ashes.
Thanks,
That
Zinni.
tells me they have something to hide. But the last Longhouse Emperor died 5 years ago. Who cares what's down here? After I give over the book, maybe I'll look into this more.
Where will you meet Farul?
Over in Riften. No idea why he's interested in the book, but my contact told me not to ask questions. Hey, if you find yourself in the area, we should meet. Maybe look into these mysteries together. More adventure.
Yay! What will you do with the Encrypted Journal?
I know just the person who would love to dive headfirst into solving this. He's a bit reclusive these days, but quite clever at figuring out puzzles. It may come across as silly, but I just have to know what it says.
How many do I have? Well, I got all 30. Yep, you got the 30? Cool. Ready?
Through your wisdom, you have earned the right to challenge me. I shall not go easy.
Whatever magic you turned on back there brought us some trouble. I saw you go back there and start fiddling with something. Then this stern-looking fellow popped from nowhere. Do you know what he wants? Seems like he's ready for a fight. If anything happens, I'll back you up.
All right. Nunchi, good morning, friends. I hope you're all well. Pop in and say hi before work. Have a good work.
I waited for eternity. I can do so for longer. Let us see what challenge offers. Test intensifies. Go beyond your limits. This does not end until I am satisfied. End approaches, but whose?
He's free! We did it! Ooh, we got some transmutes out of that too.
By Namira's knickers, what a fight! I never saw anything refuse to go down like that before. I feel honored to have been a part of it. I wonder who that was. He seemed grateful when he lost. If I hadn't been a part of it, I wouldn't believe it.
Hmm. Oh no, you had a package stolen? Oh no, Allah. Oh. That sucks. Had to alert Amazon. Oh. I hope it wasn't like any like medical stuff or something that you needed, you know, quickly. Gosh. People don't think about that when they steal the packages. But who locked him, right? There's questions. These are questions that need answers. That was cool. We did, and Katarina, we're doing a slow walkthrough and doing all the lore and all the stuff. So let's do this. I'll mute that. We'll put some music on. And I gonna go to the bathroom, get a new drink. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. Haven't been able to do that every time people... Yeah. Yeah, Katarina, that's why when I saw T was on, because T and I had been talking about doing it, because we both like to... Oh, thank you, Zinni. We both like to wait until after console players have theirs. And, have the update. And she wasn't on a lot this past week. So I saw that she was on early today, and I'm like, oh my gosh, hey, do you want to go through the stuff? And she's like, oh yeah, sure. All right. So, let's get the in-game stuff going again. And I love doing this because I usually have my music on and I don't hear the game sounds, too much. So this is fun. I like this. You're hunting dragons. Go get them, Uncle Crazy Brando. You deconning? Okay. Okay. Everyone's ready? Decon? Alrighty, here we go. Okay, so we are looking for the Cauldron. The Cauldron. All right.
No, no! Get back!
Get up, mortal. Your weakness embarrasses us both. Someone approaches. Doesn't appear to be from the waking flame.
Can you talk to them? I just need to catch my breath. I feel just a little winded from that fight, and a little embarrassed. I have no idea how I can possibly fight through more of these creatures. You should talk to Lyrinth. She's in charge here.
Alright. Gathering lore books on a Nightblade I made with ESO feels better than the sword too. Yeah, I like it better than the sword.
Oh, good. Someone competent arrives. I trust I can rely on you to fulfill this deal. You showed so much skill last time, I would hate to be disappointed.
Ah, she recognized me. I did do it on this character. What do you mean?
Of course he left the details up to me. I hired Drathus to access an important lockbox that I cannot. His family was captured by the same cultists that possess what I seek. Thus, I offered an exchange. He accesses the box, and I save his people.
The lockbox is in the mine.
This mine holds much more than bats and mold. A cult seeking immense power waits within. I fear that Drothus alone cannot withstand such foes. More of us could improve our odds. How about I sweeten the deal? Some gold if you help retrieve the box?
I'll join your search for the lockbox and the Drothus family.
It's agreed. I suggest you move ahead and clear the way of any of these obnoxious cultists and their pets. I don't believe we can rely on Drothus for any help in that regard.
Tell me more about the cult.
I admit I don't know much. They sprang from nowhere. The trail that I followed of the item I seek led to this mine. But where they come from stays a mystery. That is exactly what concerns me.
What are you doing here, Loranth?
Since we met last, I dedicated myself to destroying the associates of Mehrunes Dagon. This is how I know of the contents of the lockbox and why I'm here. But I say too much. I wouldn't want to worry a mortal such as yourself.
What does the lockbox hold?
Information such as that is not part of the deal. I shall tell you if it becomes necessary, but that seems unlikely. In the meantime, just focus on its acquisition.
Okay. Can you tell me why you can't access it?
Yes, that seems reasonable. The lockbox's creator enchanted it with a ward that blocks access by Daedra such as I. In his hubris, he didn't think to ward against mortals. Assuming, I guess, they would never live to approach it.
Okay. Any more from him?
So you agreed to help us? Oh, thank you. I'm not really prepared for this type of thing. My village tries to stay peaceful. Just keeps to themselves, you know? Till all this started. Now, well, things are different.
Do you know where your family might be?
I've never entered this mine before. This place is cursed. It closed down long before I was born, so I've no clue where they could be kept. Hopefully they're not in too deep. I just want to find them and run as far as I can.
What's happening in your village?
Well, not long ago we started hearing chanting and strange lights coming from this abandoned mine. We discovered this cult that moved in. Then people began to vanish. They'd go on hunts or out to trade and never return. Soon half the village was gone.
How did you meet Loranth?
A portal appeared in our village this morning, and out she stepped. Most of my remaining neighbors ran and hid. Sensible, considering. But something inside me said I should talk to her.
What did she say?
As I approached, she demanded to know the location of the waking flame. I explained they took our people into this mine, and that's when she offered her deal. I don't know why I said yes. I'm not a fighter. Maybe I'll die in here, but I have to try.
There we go. Aw, thanks for the hug, Dark. How you doing today? Look at Avron. Avron looking awesome. Repping the Dominion right there. Yeah, you are. Looking strong. Doing good? Oh, I'm glad. Oop, I gotta put on my XP. Gotta put on my XP. Boom. I see they're prepping for Blackwood, giving us a peek hole preview of it this week. Yeah, the 31st, right? Is that Friday or the 30th? I just happened to see that the 30th, 31st, or I forgot what it was. Go ahead, have a great stream. Hey, things like, oh, Mac, I found how for you to get me the thing. I will send you a DM later. Because I really want the thing. It's all smoky.
I can open this. Give me a moment. Here. You're free.
Drathas, what are you doing here?
I came to find my father and my uncle. Have you seen them?
Those cultists took them both ahead. Nobody who has gone farther in has come back. Be careful.
Hold your end of the bargain, Lyrit. Make sure they get out safe.
Indeed. I will see them to safety.
Oh, OldMamaDragon, I love the outfit. What's the outfit, OldMamaDragon? What is that one? It's like a spelunker. Did you get your Switch, Miss Stormy? Oh my gosh. What was that one called? It's got the little light on the front. Subterranean excavator. Oh my gosh, I love it.
At least some people are alive, and they saw my uncle and father. But they're warning. No, I can't lose hope. We must keep going.
How'd you unlock the cage so easily?
Surprised I actually have skill in something. In the village, I'm something of a tinkerer. Fixing tools, crafting locks, even a little alchemy. Whatever someone needs. I guess I picked up a few useful tricks.
You got my hair chopped off. It's so short now. Oh, wonderful. Oh, that'll be good going into the warmer weather. We're in the Cauldron, and we're doing a lore run, Miss Stormy. We're going slow through. I'm here with Titha Kashi, Avron, and OldMamaDragon, and we're taking our time. We're listening to all the lore, so that's why my music is off, but the game sound is all heightened.
more cages. I can check for survivors while you clear the Daedra.
Impossible.
Oh, wrong chat. That's okay. No worries.
Keep moving. Just give me a moment. No sign of my father or uncle. We must keep going deeper.
Do you know these people?
Yes. I knew each of them. These cultists must pay.
Oh my gosh. We got a revenge tale now. Oh, we found a little chicken. Oh, what's here? The final will and testament of Fobus. Whoever may find this, the hopes that you are not one of my captors. My name is Fobus Rivul. Please remember that I lived in a small village not far from where I imagine you found this, my final will and testament. For years my job was simple. Mend the clothes of my friends and neighbors, maybe even fashion a new design or two as a lark. But the routine was nice, perfect for someone like me. Someone who just wants a nice quiet life. I had no family, which was fine. Our village was tight-knit, though I have no idea how many still remain there. We should have been vigilant, perhaps, for so long. We were left alone by the chaotic forces of the world. I won't say our lives weren't completely peaceful, but I never felt unsafe. Until the Order of the Waking Flame. At first we saw their torches. A long procession of them, walking to the mouth of this abandoned mine. I find myself locked in now, and my neighbors and I gathered to watch the slow march of the flames. We could hear a low chanting. I swear I felt a small tremor in the ground, but I assumed it was nerves. I should have paid attention. Soon people disappeared. From their beds, from the fields, or from the road. We would just never see them return. Naturally, we suspected the residents of the mine, but no one felt strong enough to take up arms. Then, my time came. I needed to travel to Mournhold to acquire supplies as my shipment had. Miss Story! Thank you for the 5 months. Welcome back to the Jazz Cats. Enjoy your Maddie motes. Yay!
Miss
Thank
Stormy
you so
just
much.
subscribed.
Oh, thank you so much. Welcome back. So it never arrived, which at the time was strange, since my man was always prompt. Barely any time had passed before I was set upon my shadowy figures in cloaks. They killed my horse and knocked me unconscious. When I awoke, I was locked in a cage, cold, wet, and here I will likely die. I hear chanting in the distance, and a high chittering sound from some unnatural beast, so I must hurry. I leave my tailor shop to young Rilas, if she still lives, and young Mended, if Ralasi has died. My home and all its contents should be distributed to any of the village in need. I know this is not our custom, but those who are left may need shelter. And my bar tab, I leave to barkeep that hilarious old fool. Please forgive and misspellings or smear letters. Writing with bloody fingers has proven challenging. Signed and authorized, Fobus Rivul. Fobus!
No sign of my father or uncle. others are here. Uncle, you're hurt.
Avrod,
Take
you're
down that
here.
ogre guard. I must tend to my uncle.
Wait, I'm the tank. I'm getting farted on. Big party boy.
Shouldn't be here, Jarvis. These people, they're too dangerous.
Don't worry. I have help. Where is father?
Taken by Baron Zaudrus. Please, Drothus, flee this place.
Uncle, I know I can save my father. I know I can help. Uncle? No! Continue on. I will catch up.
Hey, Avigrod, how you doing?
Please, go on ahead without me. I'll catch up in a moment. All these people, friends, loved ones, snuffed out. For what? It's all just...
We're going through the storyline of the dungeons. So we're going slow. No spoilers, please. We're finding out all the lore of the dungeon. Operations report, West Narcissus. Hey, Space. Progress for C is the reporting for... I haven't noticed. Progress for C is an encouraging rate. Ore extraction continues to stay around 50% efficiency, which is better than our initial predictions using the newest and most sensitive techniques. Our human claim 2 cents substantial veins running deep through the site. If proves accurate, we can expect this mine to maintain high production levels for long term. We have encountered one small and unexpected complication that we may need to address in the near future. The local labor force start to report hearing what they describe as murmuring. They claim that it comes from somewhere within the mine. At first, we thought perhaps someone had become lost and stuck deeper in the mine, but after a thorough search, we determined that there was no way someone could have descended below our camp. I personally have not heard this supposed murmuring. When asked a miner when I was generally trust, he described it thusly. All around us we were working, clangs and pounding of the mine, right? Most times that all you can hear. But soon, some of us started hearing a slight whisper just on the edge of it all. At first, I thought Edenor was playing games. You know how he's like that type. But he swore to me that he heard it too. As we dug deeper, it only grew louder. I could hear many voices muttering within the rocks, but could never make out the words. But I could tell that they were there anyway. Sometimes they made angry as well. I regret to inform you that several of our laborers were removed from this site due to the loss of control of their senses. One began shrieking unceasingly until sedated by a provider of ground herbs. Powder of ground herbs. Another banged her head against the stone wall until knocked unconscious. Each was removed from the work camp so they didn't disturb our efforts here. As you can tell, I feel as something of an impasse. Production remains quite high, but the risks appear to grow as we continue. For now, work will continue unabated until I receive guidance from you. I think we're good. What questline is it? This is the dungeon called the Cauldron. And so we're going through all the storyline, all the stuff. Taking it slow. Searching for all the things, all the little notes. I got some pork. Yeah. So we're taking it on normal just so we don't have to worry about anything. Yeah.
Escapees! Not on my watch!
Tell me where to find my father, monster!
Father, do you expect me to see any mortals as individuals? You're just flesh and muscle.
Let's take this monster down. I can help.
It's doing good. How does he help us? I don't know.
Welcome, new slaves. Breaking you will be my pleasure. Gather, bugs!
I tell you, OldMamaDragon, monsters love you. Well, what is he actually doing? He Is that him doing some stabby stabby? Let that run.
It's worse than I thought up ahead. They used the captives to excavate an old Mehrunes Dagon shrine. It seems they prepare to sacrifice the captives who still live.
Sacrifice? My father could be one of them. Let's hurry! We have to save my people. My father, from whatever horrible fate they plan for him. These monsters need to pay. I know I seem weak, but I won't be stopped. Not until I save anyone I can.
You did well in that fight, buddy.
Thank you. Something inside of me just poured out. All the anger at what we've seen, and the hatred for these abominations. I know I can't fight as well as you, but I hope I can pull my weight while by your side.
Got it, bud.
We don't have much time if we're to save Drothus's people. And if I don't uphold my end of the deal, I fear the bargain may be void, and I need that lockbox. So we should stop babbling and move on.
What'd you find out?
As I said, the cultists used their slave labor to unearth the Mehrunes Dagon shrine. Now they prepare to perform a great ritual. For what purpose, I cannot tell. However, I do believe the ritual involves sacrificing mortals Drothus cares about.
That's not good.
We have to save my people. My father.
Got that part. What's in this room? Looking around at all the hot spots.
Such a measly energy barrier. Easily removed.
The floor is lava. Spoilers, Jimmy. Please.
I find you useful.
Who are you? Why did you take my people?
Oh my God.
Baron Zaudras. We meet at last.
Lilith, you are mine!
Whoa. I don't.
That creature hits hard. I think he cracked a rib. Just go on ahead. I can't do this.
I don't think I ever turned around and saw that. I just waited for her to open the door and I went through the door. I don't think I ever saw that.
Whatever that was, he's just too strong. I barely stood a chance. How in the world can we fight something like that? Let alone defeat him? Even Lyran stood powerless. Perhaps this is where my fight ends.
Spoilers. So let's do intros of it. Yeah, we're doing with T the Khajiit, Jimmy. We're going through and we're reading everything and doing all the dialogue and hey Rav. Yeah, burnt his eyebrows off. You can't give up. We can do this.
Glad to hear you think so. You saw what happened. He saw me as nothing more than an insect. And that's how he saw my uncle and father. We're nothing to him. Just leave me. Go, please. Finish the deal. Free whoever still lives.
Oh yeah, we're just kidding, Tiger. We're just kidding. Trust fall over lava. The ultimate trust fall. No, I'm just joking with him. There's a chest? Oh my gosh. Thanks. Or is it pasta sauce? It's boiling pizza sauce. That's what it is. Is that why the roof of my mouth always gets burnt on hot pizza? It's made out of lava. Whoa. Pizza. Pizza does sound good. You're walking through a field of mushrooms. Mushroom pizza. The Cauldron is the mushroom pizza. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Hot pocket filler. It's the inside of a lava. That could be. We're closed on Monday. Is that a thing outside? You know what? Bakeries are closed on Mondays. Not all of them, but some bakeries are closed on Mondays. I would think I would make a soup in a cauldron more than a pizza. Ooh. Deep dish? Mushroom pizza? Oh, sleepless. You don't know what you're missing. Monday. Sigh. Alright. Reiki. Here we go. Whoop. Whoop. Fell off. Boom! He doesn't conjure any ads or anything.
They really want to stop us, huh? Throwing everything they can in our way. I want to finish this. I know that together we can. Let's do it. I'm sorry I wavered. This adventuring in danger, it's all brand new to me. So much death. But I have faith in you. I know together we can find my father and get him to safety.
How are you feeling after that blow?
Honestly, in a lot of pain. I think that Baron Zardris monster did some real damage. But it doesn't matter. Not really. I can push through it to find my father. So let's go.
All right, we got Drothus back. Drothus is back. Let's go. Wait, are we going the right way? Oh, wrong door. I forget we went back to talk to him.
Maybe someone's still breathing.
Who comes now for pain?
Look, down below. What are they doing?
Oh my gosh, I never looked over the side before. What's happening?
No sign of Lyranth down there. And I can't tell if my father is among the captives. We must get down there fast.
Okay.
About time you showed. I started to think I would have to break out without you.
Normal
What in all of
MA?
none is this?
All of them
Take
are
out
pretty
those
easy,
data
but you're
cards.
probably the
See if
easiest
I
one
can
is
find anything
Pet
useful
Sword.
up top.
Hey, Sock, how you doing?
Use this oil to guide Lyranth's power.
Go for it, OldMamaDragon. You got this. Go, go, go.
I'll return with more of that black ooze.
Yay.
My freedom approaches, mortal. Stay sharp down there.
I'll look for some more of that oil.
Go, Avron, go. Yay.
Well done. Now dispatch our unwelcome guests.
I'll return with more of that black ooze.
Ooh, Avron goes fancy with a dodge roll.
Looks like that got their attention.
Found some radioactive oil.
Oh my gosh. I didn't know that was Laranth in there.
I'm impressed.
You actually praised me. What did Souders want with you?
He said very little. But such machines are used to extract Daedric power. I assume for use in their ritual.
We must stop Baron Souders and find my father. He's close. I can feel it.
I concur.
She may be bossy, but it's a relief to have Lyrinth back. With her powers, we can make our way to that ritual and stop it. Hopefully saving everyone we can along the way. Especially my father.
Thanks, Mr. Bubs. Hey, Alphazar. You suppose a conductive oil would do damage to the monsters here? Oh, that'd be nice. Maddie, Gabby is moving off my island tomorrow, and I wanted to give you first dibs. White rabbit with orange accents. An all orange home? Ooh, hold on. Let me look. Animal Crossing. Gabby. Oh. I don't have a peppy personality. Yeah, that would be good. Do I have to get Gabby today, or do I go get Gabby tomorrow? What do I have to do for that? And do I have to kick somebody off my island? I don't know the process. If she's in boxes, you have to go there today. Okay, tomorrow. She asked to move out today. Okay. So if I go and get her tomorrow, how do I decide who leaves my island?
I'm optimistic we'll find him, one way or another. Regardless of what has become of him, I think he would feel proud of how far I've come.
What an absolute nuisance this Baron Zoudras has become. How dare they try to imprison me? And worst of all, forcing me to rely on you, a mortal.
Tribal Council.
He shall pay for this indignity.
Did the Baron say anything to you?
Our conversation was brief. He asked about my plans here and how we discovered this location. I offered to tear off his arms and insert them in a new location. He declined. Now that I'm free, I may still follow up on my offer.
Good wizard, how you doing? You come over to my aunt and talk to her, and she'll be like, I hear random resident is moving, and then you can choose at that point if it's worth it. Okay. She'll RNG one of your residents. Preacher, is it the same type of thing where if I don't like who she picks, I can just, like, close out the game and try it again? Kind of like how we do with the campsite. Hey, Gravedigger, how you doing? I don't know about that one. I know you can say no once she picks someone. I'm not sure if resetting changes that. Okay. But I go to your place tomorrow, which works out good because on Tuesdays is when I do my Animal Crossing streams. Sweet. Are you going to be around tomorrow evening? Well, how are you? I'm doing fantastic. Property in Estrana Forutis. I was warned about keeping a diary when the elder found me writing down my thoughts for the day. She snatched the page from my hands and instantly set it aside. Don't you understand the meaning of secret order? She asked. But I've kept a diary since I was a young girl, and it kept me sane during the lonely times.
Find another! I know what you seek, Lyran. Come find me.
Oops, somebody went on ahead.
Coward. He couldn't have gone.
Somebody went on ahead.
I knew them. My friends. Neighbors.
Drothis! Son, is that you? Father, you're alive! How are you?
Every moment we wait, we lose time. I fulfilled my end, Drothis. I must get that lockbox.
Friend, I must stay with my father. Finish the deal. Find Baron Zaldris and get the lockbox.
Alright, don't attack anything. We need to talk to him.
Zaldris' ritual failed. It appears he wished to consecrate this site with the blood of mortals. But for what purpose? The answers lie with the Baron
Okay,
himself.
Preacher, that sounds good.
A ridiculous question. Is he ready to face me? That's the true matter. I only wish to recover what I seek. This nuisance Dagon creature shall easily fall if he stands in my way.
Okay. So I figure I'd stop in and hang out. We play ESO and PS4. Oh, thanks, Gravedigger. I appreciate it. Drothis.
I know we came this far together, and I know the debt to Lyranth is mine. But I can't lose
Thanks,
my
Tiger.
father. Please, go with her. Find what she seeks. We can talk later.
Oh, is this your father? That's your father. We found the father. Actually, can I go finish that diary? Let's see, where was the diary at? We're leaving the boating house for a new place of worship in Deshawn. Apparently it contains a shrine that our leadership has sought for years. Rumor has it that we'll be living in a cave now. A cave! With bats and worms and such. When I joined up last season, I thought it would be a fun chanting and burning stuff. But now I am surrounded by some truly obsessed people who will be sleeping in the dirt. I think I have made a grave mistake. I need to leave. What have I done? We have slaves working for us. Some work until they die from exertion. And there's a monster. I don't know what he is. He runs the operation here. I've read all about the Daedra that we deal with. I've even helped summon a few of my own. But the Baron Zardris, I've seen nothing like him. He's massive, and he looks like he could tear off my arms with a finger. We're supposed to perform the ritual soon. They're killing them. All of them. I can't do this. I need to leave. Alright. Is there a way of doing it where we don't kill them? Oh, nice. Cool. Or just roll through them, Avron. Okay.
What you want is right here, Lyrinth. Come, take it!
Hand the map to me, creature, or die protecting it.
Ready?
Take my power so you may stand against it. My power is
True strength is beyond within me!
immortal. Let my power course through you.
Boom!
The monster responsible for all this suffering. It's over.
Drothus has his father. Now you must complete the deal. Let us speak.
Hey, thanks for the follow.
I must say, I came seeking one thing, and discovered a much larger mystery. Why sanctify this site? For what purpose? Not knowing what the servants of Mehrunes Dagon plan feels uncomfortable.
You said something about the map to Baron Zagras.
Ah, you heard that. Yes, I hope to find a map within the lockbox once Drothus opens it. It should lead me to even greater mysteries. But that doesn't matter to you now. I promised gold, and here it is. Well deserved, I must say.
Yeah, this is on normal because we're just going through storyline, so yeah, we bypassed a lot of the stuff.
I am proud of you, Drothus. I thought for sure my death was near. Never did I imagine you capable of such strength.
Thank you, Father. My friends helped me more than I can say.
A touching reunion indeed. But you must fulfill the bargain, Drothus.
Yes, of course. One moment. Aha! Easy enough. Here you are. Seems to be a map.
Adequate work. I hope our paths never cross again.
We did it. After everything we saw, I felt that maybe we'd find my father dead. But we saved him. I can't take credit for too much. You did so much for both of us. I'm eternally in your debt.
That was fun, Avron. That really was. What will you do next?
I want to lock away this accursed place forever. But before that, I need to get my father out of here and check to see if anyone else is still alive. As for my village, I don't know how many are left. We might need to start again. Somewhere else.
How's your father?
Alive. I can't ask for much more. We can heal his injuries with some potions and some rest. But if I'd lost him, I would never recover.
Our deal is complete. I have my map,
Hey,
Drothus
Master.
has his father, and you have your gold. Nice and neat. Just how I prefer. I do not plan to stand around much longer, so if you have questions, ask.
Doing good. We're doing a lore run, and we just finished up the thing. Avron, what's the deal with the map? It's a map to who again? What were the cultists up to?
The ritual looked like a sort of consecration of the shrine. In itself wouldn't
Also, we don't know.
anything nefarious, but merely the first step of something big. I suspect we delayed whatever this was, but didn't stop it.
Not yet, but with the danger, it's never a good thing.
Wherever it leads me. Big events draw near. I wish to observe them. Perhaps I may have use for you in the future. Be prepared for my summons.
Oh my gosh. So all we know is that she got a map. That in the box that she was looking for, she just got a map. We don't know what the map is. You two are dancing.
Thank you for helping my son. He has grown so much since I last saw him. Now he seems strong, confident in a way I never expected. For now, I just want to be rid of this place. Drothis can escort me home.
Now, I got a question. She has a map, Emily has a book. Good old adventure story. He was trapped in a cage, right? What was that whole thing of him porting, being able to port? Couldn't he have just ported out of the cage? Or am I thinking of something else? Oh, he's afraid of a scamp, apparently. Ah. Okay, because I'm like, when he whipped out that magic and he's just like, yeah, let me just port up here and get you the thing. I'm like, okay. An anti-magical one? Could be. Or he found the strength of his heroic journey of the Cauldron. Who knows? It could be. Right, I'll let T run around. T's running around with all her speed. Bye, Avron. Thank you for coming. He merely slipped through that hole in the plot that you just found.